And then looking at the performance from Mad Lions in the last map alone, Bubsky's only finishing positive at 22 and 19. You look on the other side, you got Frozen at plus 12, you got Carry at plus 5, Rops at plus 2, and then Woxic and Chris J at dead even. Now look at this, mousesports again, no respect play coming straight through onto the B side. Shush able to hit the first shot of Chris J, gets flashed up just a little bit though, has some support in the man in window, which is going to be Hunden. Another flashbang lands as well, and eventually they have to be able to deal with this man. Finally they come through, but not before he gets himself another kill. And it does put things on a 3-3 situation with a flank coming in from behind.
Even still, a 3v3 is a difficult retake on the B site. In the pistol round, it's a lot more doable just based off having those USPs and the chance to swarm onto the site. There's not going to be much utility as well, normally for the Ts to actually try and hold on to this Carrigan. He's got the USP at the back of the site. He had a very good first map, but Roy is going to dome him straight out. Nice work from Frozen to at least clear the player peeking from another angle. Now they have at least a little bit of defense, but Bubsky already finds one. It's left onto Frozen. He needs the headshot here, and he isn't going to get it. It's Roy to close out the round. Mad Lions, they have the pistol. They have the start they needed.
Honestly, I feel like that round was basically won by Shush, though. Even though Roy did get the final kill to save it, Shush just staying alive that long, able to do that amount of damage and literally delay for these rotations to come through. It really helped secure that round for them. So like I said, 1-0 start for Mad Lions. They're still going to be up against a very scary buy for mousesports. I mean, you got the Scout, you got 2 SGs, you got a Galil as well. They can win this round relatively cleanly. They could be off to that nice 3-0 start. And I see you build up a lot of momentum throughout this map, because they're definitely going to need it. Already down one map. One more map that you lose, and you're out of the entire tournament. And obviously, as we said before, both teams with a little bit of different hopes when it comes to this tournament life. mousesports looking to take the title. Mad Lions looking to get into playoffs. And right now, Woxic, I think he's going to take this game into his own hands, at least with that first shot.
Yeah, and then mid-battle is actually going to be really tough. Frozen walks in. Bubsky, he needs to do something heroic here, and Frozen is more than prepared for it. You'd almost question who was the one who won the first round with how this weaponry has just dominated the Mad Lions. Hunden needs to try and basically just escape. He was hoping to maybe catch a kill on the way out, get himself an extra little bit of money. I think the plan there was to maybe trade out the smoke in order to get the kit, but it didn't matter in the end. He's going to be killed off.
And again, Woxic just opening things up. We talk about the power of the Scout. You know, always think about Chris J back in the day with the Scout, but Woxic able to pick it up here and do some serious work. I mean, we know how well he can play the Scout on a map like Dust2. And he's just proven it time and time again. I mean, taking that first player down immediately forces Mad Lions to rotate back into mid to kind of go for a 3 to 4 man stack there, actually. And then, of course, those SG shots coming through as well, just decimating. I think that was out of Frozen.
Yeah, he has come to play today. Like, as said, he was one of the worst performers. I think he was actually the bottom fragger in the game there, or the overall series that they played yesterday. It did slightly better in terms of like rating than Carrigan, but even still, he should be up the top of the board. He should be one of the top performers. There's a reason this youngster was picked up so early by mousesports. And he's been showing it for quite a while now. And today, he's definitely had a much better performance already. 5 kills into the board here. I like the attempt, though. Flashbangs through Bubsky. He's going to get 2 Deeg shots. The Scout isn't going to connect another, and Bubsky's gone ham in this round. Even still, there's a couple of players to deal with. They've actually managed to get the bomb, but I don't think they quite realized it. It was a little bit further along. Frozen, he's going to have to fight versus 3. Almost manages it. Bubsky very low. And now it's left onto the Estonian to try and fight this one back. I think he spotted Bubsky running towards long. At least a decent amount of information. He's got to be wary that there's a second player on this site. Hunden's going to go down. Bear in mind, Bubsky's very low on HP. Can't really afford to take this fight. And again, I don't think they realize that the bomb is currently on short. So Rup's not having it. He has to go on a retrieval mission. This might be a little bit off-putting for some of the remaining CT players with where they're actually going to be facing. But they have now started to surround in on it, leaving Rops in a tough position. The spray through is going to leave him in an even more difficult spot, but he finds the kill nonetheless. But he needs that final frag, and he burns down to 11 HP. It doesn't matter what happens from here on out. Bubsky just has to run away. Rops does not have enough time to go and get that bomb down on the site. And because of that, Bubsky not only going to get 4 kills, but he's going to win by surviving.
The stacked work. We talk about Hunden seeing some weaknesses within teams. A nice little play right there on the short stack with the flashbang open things up with. I mean, obviously, if Bubsky doesn't hit those shots, there's no chance Mad Lions is going to win that round. But still, credit where it's due. Came down very close. Overran Woxic with the scout. Ended up dropping the bomb, and now Mad Lions taking a timeout here to figure some things out. Because even though they won the round, the money, it's still not great for them.
Yeah, and I think they know that there's another force buy coming as well. So this round needs to be as impressive as the last. This also means the chances of getting an AWP onto A core are significantly diminished, and I think he's going to be one of the heavy hitters on this CT side if they are going to have a chance. This is where you can see the weaponry being juggled around by mousesports. They're going to have at least 3 rifles. I think a scout probably dropped over to Woxic as well. In fact, they have the full SGs. This isn't even looking like that weak a buy in terms of the weaponry that they've actually picked up. Sure, there's some pieces of utility missing, which is something the CT side are also having to deal with.
I am just waiting for any one of Mad Lions to get on top of that platform. Bubsky are taking a lot of damage. Actually, that was over towards the B site. Rop's able to hit some shots with the SG. Still, middle's going to have a lot of presence. Roy's going to have so much pressure on him to maintain this if they do decide to push through. But they might even rotate in towards short because they still technically have Frozen to push out long. Carry going to be picked off the wall. Woxic's just waiting for his opportunity to return this one.
Instead, it's actually going to be 2 trades coming back. Chris J and Rops, that's the A site completely opened up. Retrieval of that SG as well leaves the weaponry firmly in the favor of mousesports in this position in the round. And I imagine we're going to see an attempted retake. The only issue is, sure, you've got the incendiary onto Shush, a singular flashbang, but there's no smoke. It's going to be a fairly open plant as well. Leaving that long presence will be fairly difficult to take back. And even as this smoke looks to fade, there's going to be a man waiting on the other side. The CT side also taking quite a long time. They've had to switch things up because that smoke is there. Bubsky already tagged low on HP. It's basically just going to come down to who's favored when this fades. And, well, neither. It's actually going to be Woxic who's favored. Another 2 kills picked up for a man who is pretty much a menace when it comes to Dust2. I'll be honest, I think if he wasn't in this roster, it probably wouldn't be anywhere near as favored a map as it is. But having one of the best AWPers in the world definitely helps out.
So back and forth rounds now between these 2 teams, really trying to fight for that solid control here. We saw mousesports, what was it, 9-1 kind of scoreline in the beginning before Mad Lions able to pull a couple of rounds back. And now speaking of the Lions, they're looking more like a cat at the moment because they don't have the weaponry to back up this SG that was saved from the prior round. Then again, they saved, they forced up in round number 3 and were actually able to win the round in the end with just Bubsky surviving. And they're going to be going for something a little bit similar, trying to push him out towards short. And if he gets around the corner in time, he actually might have the opportunity for a nice kill or 2. As Woxic able to actually drop him from this one. Now the SG's out of the hands of Mad Lions. They're going to try to recover it, or at least look to recover it. Molotov blocks it off as well. Shush gets a kill through middle with the scout. Look at this. You can see Roy. They really want this weapon. Oh.
Nice work from Shush. He needs to get rid of Chris J, and he's being given opportunities to do it as well. 3 kills off the back of the scout. There are just big plays round after round at the moment. And he just, this is ridiculous. He's going for the ace at the moment. Just one more needs to be connected. And Frozen just peeking back. Surely this is going to be it for Shush. A ridiculous round off the back of the scout. An ace as they try and push through the tunnels. Individual duels taken, and mousesports letting that round slip away from them once again.
I don't know why you're dropping the scout, Shush. Keep it after that round. I mean, when we think about 2 of the 3 rounds now that the Mad Lions have won, 1 came down to Bubsky getting a 4K with the Deagle, and 1 came down to an ace out of Shush. Not a great sign, but still amazing individual performance that they can continue that. Again, we talk about morale within the team. That has to get them extremely hyped up for this. Push coming out long, though. mousesports looking to silence the Mad Lions. And let's do it with Frozen alone there, as you can see. And Bubsky has actually pushed out towards middle, gets a kill in towards lower. And he's already behind them at long. I think there's a potential to expect this, though, since they did lose a player there, but no one's currently even looking in this direction.
Switch up of weaponry, but that could be enough. The peak timing's not too bad. What a shot from Woxic. Using that scout once again, but this smoke has not covered Rops completely. I wonder if he might even want to go back and try and retrieve that SG instead. A slightly better weapon rather than the Galil that he's currently holding. They're trying to just find space, but now the smoke is completely gone. You can see Akor's just going to be waiting on the cross. Peek in, and Rops finds the kill nonetheless, and Shush not quite quick enough. Once more, we're going to see a 1v2 situation, and they know roughly where he is already. Bomb is going to be planted. The nade could be enough, though. It could kill off Woxic, and that's exactly what it would do. It's going to be Rops into a 1v1 now, already tagged relatively low on HP. And Shush just trying to peek the angle, trying to find him over the top of the smoke, knowing that peeking through this would have high risk behind it. The other risk, though, is that he currently doesn't have a kit. And whether or not there is one on the ground, we can see it just behind him. He's going to be going for the fight, and he's going to find the kill, pick up the SG. And I think he should have time anyway.
I mean, Shush is just continuing from yesterday, right? He was top fragging in their last match. He started to do it yet again here, currently on 9. Well, he's got 2 this round. He had 5 last round, and he had 2 in the pistol round.
Yeah, he had 31 kills, 16 deaths on Dust2 yesterday, facing off against Virtus Pro. Of course, we put mousesports on a far higher pedestal than VPR in their current form, but even still, they have some very good individual players, so for Shush to destroy them that hard, I think the next highest on his team as well hadn't even broken 20. So he basically was the sole carry of that match. Looking to try and do the same once again. Hunden yet to get a kill on the board. Definitely not the start that he was looking for, but at the same time, his team dragging them through the victory at the moment. And it's a few players on either side, in fact, stepping up. Carrigan has fallen off a little bit from his previous map antics. We're still going to see mousesports actually go for an investment here. A little bit more risky than what we've seen prior, of course, because it has now been 2 rounds in a row for Mad Lions. This is normally where you'd see a team take the foot off the gas, but I guess it's because only 1 man survived.
Also, considering both teams' economies are so fragile at the moment, one team's really looking for that streak of rounds. Do have Akor on the op. Mumsky again, maybe looking to get aggressive here as he was in the prior round before. And Shush again, back up east side. Can they deal with him this time? They get the dink onto him down to 12 health. And finally, they actually do stop his rain. And they get full control of the B side. If you're Mad Lions here, do you just almost save at this point? You know they're a little bit under-equipped. And with Frozen, maybe if he gets that kill in towards the middle, the call would be made. But they do have a man flanking from behind. It's Bubsky. Hunden looking for Frozen. He'll spot him out.
That's such an impactful kill. That means that their rotation now can come back into the site. They also have a man advantage. Roy has actually managed to get very far in, but he gets wrecked. And Chris J has another flank in through the door. A double kill from him. And this game is just going back and forward all the way. Again, Mad Lions, all their lost bonus is going to be completely reset. And they're going to be forcing once more. I wonder who's actually going to come out on top as the victor, because that was actually a very big risk from mousesports. Like, that was where they'd already lost 2 rounds in a row. Sure, the economy was still low of Mad Lions, but most of the time you go, okay, let's take the time, let's get our full buy-in. Instead, they're a little bit more patient. I'm interested that Chris hasn't bought a gun. He has 3,700. I don't know if he has realized this.
Well, he might not need to buy a gun if Woxic keeps hitting shots like this.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Chris is just like, okay, Woxic's going to hit some nutty shots. I don't need to buy. I'll just save.
Well, this is the first time we've actually seen an AWP in play. Considering we're going into round number 8 at the moment. That is quite a surprise. Carrigan ready for the aggression, but he is only going to be able to get 1. Even still, B site firmly under the control of the T side. They've been able to take that control thanks to Woxic basically killing everybody as they tried to cross. And Roy, well, should have been a free kill, but not quite able to hit the taps. It will be 4-4. Finally, okay, we're going to see an eco, Jason.
Are we, Tom?
It's round 9. We're seeing an eco. This is it. This is the moment. Akor's got some extra money, so then in the future he can buy an AWP. This may be one of the longest amount of times it's taken to see an eco in a game, but yeah, this is it, I believe. Thank you for not making me look foolish. Always
watch
like
him still win around, though.
That would be impressive. The thing is, the teaser managed to make a decent amount of money over the last few rounds that they would still be buying nonetheless. That's the issue that's been there. On the other side, Chris J back back-to-back with a couple of players, and, well, not this time. Hunden's going to be the only one to pick up a kill, and mousesports, now they are firmly in the driver's seat.
Look at Chris's money. He had like 3.2 2 rounds ago. He saves an AK in the next round, and then he gets a couple kills here. He's up to 10K now. Like, their economy, it's completely black and white from what we saw before. Both teams' economy is in a rough spot, constantly forcing up into this one. mousesports now have a big bank behind them.
Yeah, and that's the issue. That it always hurts the CT side more going for those forced buy rounds because there's more you firstly need to purchase, and there's less chance of you making cash off the back of a bomb plant, for example. So it definitely becomes tougher, and mousesports able to win this out. Wow, it's only going to go from bad to worse. Bubsky has just been ruined on shot. Chris J runs across and kills off Acorn. They've lost half their team within a matter of seconds. Roy doing his best as Rops ends up just taking his own life rather than giving the frag away. Even still, they're going to be left in a 3 versus 2. I don't really know if they're going to go for this as well. With Roy solo on HP and Shush as far away as humanly possible, this looks like a save.
I would imagine so. Maybe Roy can get an exit kill. I think, though, he needs to focus on saving his weapon. Oh, and Shush keeps running. Frozen's going to know he's here. Yep. They're still going for it. He actually ran around to go for it there.
Yeah, I don't really know how they expected to get there in time. Like, that was already the bomb down to about 20 seconds. When he was just getting to long. Like, the amount of time, even if there was no one in his way, it would take another, like, 8 seconds to get towards the site. Like, you really are being optimistic that you're going to make it at that point. If he held for an exit, then I can kind of understand it, but maybe a little bit over-optimistic from Mad Lions. Even still, going to have to go for a half investment here. Their loss bonus has now started to build up, so at least something for them financially, but this round at least, just going to be the scout. They try and dual peek Woxic, and they do actually tag him, but
it's Woxic.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah. Not trying to push out long. Rops gets himself a quick double, and honestly, this game's taken a complete 180, Tom. Like, so close, so many close rounds turning into so many stomp rounds for mousesports. They didn't lose a single player there. They're up 7-4 now. Timeout going to come in for the Mad Lions, though. And look at the money mousesports has. I mean, 14K on Chris J, 11 on Frozen.
Do you want to speak of another 180? It was a 10-5 half in favor of 100 Thieves. They lost 16-12. So from then onwards, they won just 2 rounds, 11 rounds on the T side to 2 in favor of EG. So they have taken not only the first map, but the pick of their opposition. And now we go into Nuke. So we're basically looking at who will be the opponent for the winner of this series.
Either way, EG could be spicy.
That should be. Well, it's what we expect to be the result based off our rankings, based off how the teams have been performing so far in the tournament. But
well, Mad Lions potentially, if they could somehow come back and this could get the rematch against Evil Geniuses, where they went 1-2 against them as well. But then again, the one map they did win was like 16-14.
That is true. But I at this point, I'm starting to be a little bit of a non-believer. Even still, I'm glad to see Acor back onto this AWP. It's going to be an early trade with Bubsky getting aggressive. Woxic just peeks his angle. Roy is just looking to scurry away because Woxic's just been peeking in and finding kill after kill. Frozen will be traded out in the meantime, but this man on Dust2 is an absolute joy to watch. Chris J as well is putting up numbers, and they've got the 3 of them to try and get rid of Hunden and Shush. Now, of course, Shush has been the main threat for them so far on this B site. Hasn't had so much to do over the last few rounds, and not because there haven't been players to kill, but because he's been on the wrong side of the map the majority of the time. Looking like he will be pressured this time, but you can just see the patience from mousesports. I imagine this is just Carrigan singing sweet nothings in their ear as they look to try and make the plays further into the round.
You know, you mentioned Shush, and 2 of the 4 rounds that Mad Lions do have, one of them was because he aced.
Yep.
And another round was the pistol round, where he got 2 kills and delayed for a long time for the rotations to come through. So why wouldn't you avoid this man? He hasn't been able to make that impact because of that. But he might be able to have it here. 3 players of mousesports going to be walking into the Lion that is waiting. There's the first kill coming through as well. Unfortunately, it's going to be 1 and done. Now it's on Hunden. And a 1-on-2 could be a big win for them if they can pull this off.
A clutch in a pretty tough position. The nade is going to at least do a little bit of initial damage, and there isn't actually anybody watching the window, although Chris, as I say that, will switch his gaze and Well, as easy as you like. That's going to be mousesports getting their 8th round onto the board. But yeah, it must just be wonderful. Like, of course, Chris able to trade a lot of the frags out, which initially came in onto teammates. But just to have someone like Woxic who's able to peek into an AWP angle and be so quick on the trigger that Acor didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah.
Then another player who knows he's there still gets killed while pre-firing as Woxic peeks into the angle again. Like, Deadly has the chance. He's going to hit the tag onto Hunden as well. Just doing damage down mid. Over 100 ADR with an AWP, which not the most common thing you'll see in the world. And there's going to be pressure into tunnels. Unfortunately, the only man here is Rops, and this is the last person I would want to be walking into with an SG looking into a very small area.
I really want to know what is it about Dust2 that makes Woxic so good at it. You know, like I'm trying to wonder, like why isn't there? Why can't you be that good on every map?
I think this map is just
map layout.
It's an AWPer's paradise. There's a lot of like long range positions. There's the initial duel. Oh, no, yeah. Might have wanted to get a little bit closer there, Hunden, but yeah, there's a lot of like basically long range angles. There's a lot of open space. There's players that have to cross over certain positions. You can take a lot of aggressive peeks. Also, it's a map where I don't think there's many like tight angles that you can't necessarily pre-fire. Like if you look, even if you go towards short, which is a relatively tight angle, there's a further back angle that he even took to kill off Acor in a previous round that he can peek first to make sure that that's clear. So I think there's just a lot of favorable positions on this map that work for an AWPer. This is very aggressive. Clearly things not working out from the CT side perspective, so they try something a little bit aggressive. They've even got a double AWP peeking mid at the moment, and Bubsky is going to be able to find one, but a quick reaction from Carrigan could give them the sight. Woxic just ruined Acor. As said, he's one of the players that I said need to perform on this map if they're going to have a chance. Woxic has had his number all through the map.
Oh my gosh, to hit that shot as well when he saw the second player. I know there's at least one more here. The other's flanking around behind them. It's going to be Bubsky. In the meantime, the bomb's going to be planted at the A site. Woxic, though, he's his own raid boss. Finally, Bubsky's able to shut him down. And now it's going to come down to a 2-on-2. So, I mean, there is an opportunity here for Mad Lions to win this. I mean, the Bubsky's going to be in a great position. The problem is they don't have a kit, though. And I would almost imagine this would come down to just a save. Maybe look for exit frags unless Bubsky can hit this first shot.
I think they have to go for it. They have to, just because of the amount they are down by at the moment. Miss again. It's going to be so quick from Frozen. And
how did he... Did someone drop from short? Is that how he got a quick double? Or did the kill come in like way earlier and I didn't notice it?
So, he killed one who was on short, and then he dropped into CT knowing that the other was coming from long.
A little bit of a brain fart there. I thought he got both like within a second. I was like, how did that work? Either way, 10-14 now going to the last round of the half fro. Oh my gosh. Let's just watch this.
Shush, just like, you missed. Didn't hit me.
Did
slow him down though. However, Rops isn't going to just go barreling into the site. This is ballsy. They're going to go all the way down. The auto sniper from Carrigan, though, is just going to shut them down. That is as dirty as it gets in Counter-Strike. They're going to hate him for that. I think any Danish rivalry is going to be maximized from what Carrigan just did. And it leaves Shush alone with a scout. He's going to be killed down mid by Rops as well. That is one of the most disgusting rounds you're ever going to see in Counter-Strike. And as said, they're going to really have a distaste in their mouths for that.
Like, the most unfortunate part for that, for me, was that mousesports were still just spamming away at the door while they were trying to push long. So, like, because they were waiting for them to continue to cross and to continue to spam through, they still had the weapon out when they came out long doors. It's like, all right, Kerrigan, yeah, 4 kills. Easy. GG easy. We're going to head to a short break. When we come back, we'll be seeing how the second half is going to break down.
Got too much up on my plate, now I can't think. I said woke up, take a extra, now I'm feeling this is it. Want the money, want the rest. I do purse, not no cess. They say, Don, it's why you sad. I said, I just need to think. Red tape, got too close, I hate the city. I black face, show you everything you need till you fornicate it bad. Someone said it's sad, cause I used to want, used to want it bad. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you too many times, yeah, yeah. I know it's in my head, keep seeing you. I know it's in my head. Follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my, follow me around, okay, black face, hey, follow me around, okay, got too much up on my.
Welcome back, everyone, to our second half here of mousesports up against Mad Lions. 11-4. You look at that, and you're like, wow, that was a very one-sided half, Jason. It actually wasn't as one-sided as it really shows, at least within the early parts of the half.
Until the 9 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
And then it was
Let's ignore the 9 rounds.
If we
and then
ignore
it was
that, then it wasn't that dominating. If you take that into account, then maybe it is. But yeah, good start. Roy is going to take down Frozen. Carrigan peeks in and he hits both headshots. Oh dear. It's going from bad to worse. But Bubsky is going to be able to pick off one more, still leaves them in a man disadvantage, and Rops has managed to get so close alongside Woxic. He's actually going to be jumping up. Flashbang leaves them by, and they're both behind the smoke. Woxic's already found one, and Roy just trying to continue from where he picked off. 2 kills to its name. He needs to double it if he's going to stand a chance, and just using this smoke to try and hide. He manages the first, but doesn't expect Carrigan to be this close. Another triple for Carrigan in this series, and I don't even know how he survived the first 2.
I've never heard you giggle like that before when he got that second shot. But to be fair,
It was gross.
I would have done the same thing, 100%.
I think your voice would have gone even higher.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you guys are at home, I probably would have destroyed your headphones or your speakers or something like that.
Yeah. Your dog would be running around the room.
For the 5 people that haven't muted the stream. Well, either way, 12-4 now. mousesports, well, they got the scout for Woxic again. We already saw in the first half what that can do. Acor, I mean, he's had a couple of good shots when he had the AWP on train, but he hasn't really had the impact, unfortunately.
I was about to say maybe even 3 good shots. It's not been his game. He has just been countered by Woxic every single time. Like those battles have just gone his way. Like he's been fantastic so far. Even going to be tagging up Shush now. And this is the same investment that we saw come out in the previous half from mousesports. We'll see if Mad Lions can make it work. They've got themselves a couple of SGs. Relatively safe buy, but still a couple of SMGs for mousesports, and they are going to have to take some risks in this round. But for now, they're just fairly spread across the map, a little bit heavier towards this A site, but Carrigan going to start his rotation back, trying to maybe reset up Woxic into a new position as he has been found out in mid. And in the meantime, it does actually look like they might be about to pressure him and Frozen That deadly duo sat towards long doors as there's 50 seconds left on the clock for Mad Lions to now make their move.
Well, for mousesports, they need to be very careful not to turn around here. Need to hold this position, depend on Kerrigan to help defend the backside, and it's going to come down to Woxic turning to help. Frozen is actually trying to play the edge of the smoke here, and the player's actually going to rotate around, so he's going to hear this. He's actually going to go for the chase. Woxic, in the meantime, trying to defend on towards the site with Kerrigan there, but Kerrigan gets his head cleanly taken off, as well as Bubsky getting the kill onto Chris J. Acor taking down Frozen. And this little bit of a switch up has worked out for them, but Woxic, he still has a scout. You have to respect this. 14 seconds left, they need to get this bomb down, and I don't think he's going to be able to stop this one from being planted. Oh, that's so close.
Yeah, the issue is they're all so low now. He doesn't even need to be using this scout anymore, but he's still doing it. Already getting his third kill, and now he's found an AUG to just double this up at the end. Woxic has made this nearly impossible for Acor. Can he hold on in this scenario? Look at Rups' position. I don't think he's going to be expecting him here, and just an insane amount of damage done by this man. He is absolutely running riot in this server at the moment. Bear in mind, that second kill that he gets, he actually headshots one of the players through the chest of the other player. So he gets a clan, does so much damage in that one bullet that they were basically screwed. He's on 122 ADR as an AWP/scouter. That's nuts.
And you look at Rops as well, having a very good game at 20 kills. I mean, Kerrigan only at 9, but he hasn't really needed again to really get much, to be fair. Walks again. There you go. Punches Acor as he try to go in through middle. And the rest of the players are actually over towards B halls. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Mad Lions can do here. They've kind of forced up into this. They have the 2 Galils in the MAC 10. They still have a Deagle as well for Shush, but well, Shush has been quiet because mousesports did a really good job of just preventing him from having the same kind of impact within the first 3 rounds that he did have. Remember, he had a scout ace. He had the 2K in the pistol round when he probably should have only had 1 max.
Yeah, it's definitely been a slowdown from him. Bubsky as well was able to get up to a little bit of mistage in the latter rounds, but either way, here we go. Push onto the site. Woxic's going to be here once again with the AWP. Smoke expended to try and slow them down. They have got a little bit further than maybe expected. He's avoided about 15 flashes at this point. And that does mean that they're going to be able to get the bomb down on the site. Even still, a man advantage. Pretty much every avenue covered, except short. That may be the only real haven, and Bubsky looking to come around from behind, but it's being watched. Another shot hit from Woxic, leaving Dust2 standing. Make it 1 as Roy has to try and clutch. He's even going to get tagged through the box. There's nothing he can do here. Another round on the board, another fantastic round coming off from Woxic. I just don't even know what they can do at this point. Like, this man is just destroying them.
Is basically how can Mad Lions do to mousesports what mousesports did to Shush. Try to avoid Woxic, but as you saw in that round, when he peeks middle, gets a kill. Goes long, gets more kills. This man is just playing everywhere around the map, and the confidence is just oozing out of him. And why wouldn't it? You're 14-4, you're one more map, I guess 2 technical rounds away from getting through further onto the tournament, and to have your chance to play in the Spodek Arena once you match up against the winners of 100 Thieves and Evil Geniuses. And Chris J getting a little bit stuck there, will eventually make his way in towards pit. Oh, the nade. A little bit of a miss throw coming through. Could have so much damage, and that one actually might do it as well. And there you go, just mowing them down. Eventually able to get out, though, and get the first kill. Kerrigan, well, they expect him to be here, and they will finish him off. Frozen, in the meantime, has been able to get 2. But that first nade, if that didn't miss, I feel like Mad Lions would have all been on, like, sub 20 HP.
Yeah, well, a couple of them died just from a few random bullets being sprayed through by Frozen, so those nades were absolute filth. They have managed to finally gain long control, which has actually been something they've struggled to do over the last few rounds. We noted in the round where they had to actually rotate all the way back and just play through short because of the late smoke that was being utilized by mousesports. I don't know if they're going to expect Rops to be here, but he has found all of the information. They've been able to sneak past him. Is he going to check for Acor? He will, but he shoots a bullet. Even still, manages to get back around the corner. He's also making space in the meantime, but Frozen won't capitalize off of it. Roy in a decent position here. His teammate needs to help defend him. I'm actually curious to where Akor's actually gone. He's left him out to dry, and now holding the angle is going to be the AWP. Rops could just go for the defusal, but they want the kill first. And Woxic is there to at least put one onto the board for himself. mousesports, they're up to 15. They have themselves 11 map points, 11 series points, and they are looking to absolutely dominate the Mad Lions in this stage.
26 kills for Woxic.
It's actually, I almost feel bad for Rops in the sense of that he has been overshadowed because he's having a very good game. He's impactful in a lot of the rounds, but just the manner of which Woxic is able to get these kills is just ridiculous.
And also the consistency. I feel like he hasn't died in, well, I mean, he only has 6 deaths, and we've had 19 rounds played. That gives you the idea. I mean, finally he'll miss a shot. But he doesn't really miss too many. He's actually going to push through this first smoke as well, and Roy. Yeah, this is not looking good here for Mad Lions. Already down a man. Last round potentially of the series and of Katowice for them.
I think that was even their play having to change in the mid-round, because it looks like they were going to try and pressure onto B, but not having any tunnels control, you can't really go for anything of the sort. Chris, being underneath short in towards their spawn, is going to hear the footsteps. And because of that, we're actually going to see a switch up in setup, more dominant over onto the site again. And Nade initially goes in with the incendiary to at least slow them down, get rid of the amount of time that is left on that smoke. Chris just waiting around the corner, but more importantly, they've left Frozen in the corner of Goose as well. So even if Chris goes down, I don't think they're going to expecting Frozen to be here. Carrigan chimes in. Frozen might not even need to do anything because they're being cleaned up one by one. It's Bubsky left to ace it just to survive, and they stack on each other's head, having a little bit of fun at the end of the map. Utterly dominant. Just 12 rounds across 2 maps for Mad Lions.